Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Sara English. I'm Sarah, and I'm really happy you are here with us today.
And I'm Mike. It's great to have you here again. We hope you are comfortable, relaxed, and ready for another natural English conversation.
Today, we are going to talk about something that can feel both exciting and a little scary, changing your life.
Yes, the title of today's conversation is simple. It's time to change your life.
Those words can sound very powerful.
They can also make us think about many different things.
Maybe you have a job you do not enjoy anymore.
Maybe you want to improve your health or your daily routine.
Maybe you want to learn English and finally feel confident speaking it.
Or maybe you simply feel that your life has become too repetitive.
You wake up, go to work, come home, eat dinner, look at your phone, and go to sleep.
Then you do the same thing the next day.
And the next day.
After a while, you may start asking yourself, is this really the life I want?
That question can be uncomfortable, but it can also be useful.
Because sometimes change begins with an honest question.
You do not have to change your whole life in one day.
In fact, trying to change everything at once can make you feel overwhelmed.
Real change often starts with one small decision,
One small habit,
one new direction.
or even one different way of thinking.
So while you listen today, think about your own life.
Ask yourself, what is one thing I would like to change?
Maybe you want to become more confident.
Maybe you want to stop wasting so much time.
Maybe you want to spend more time with people you love.
Or maybe you have a dream that you've been putting off for a long time.
Sometimes we know exactly what we want to change, but we keep waiting.
We say, I'll start next month.
Or, I'll start when I have more time.
Or I'll start when everything is perfect.
But the perfect moment usually does not come.
There is always another problem, another busy day, or another reason to wait.
That is why today we want to talk about starting before everything is perfect.
Because your life does not need to be perfect before you make it better.
I really like that idea.
Me too. And I think many people believe that changing their life requires a huge decision.
Like quitting your job, moving to another country, or completely starting again.
Sometimes those changes are necessary, but they are not the only way to create a better life.
Small changes can also have a powerful effect.
For example, you can change what you do during the first 30 minutes of your morning.
Instead of immediately checking social media, you could read, exercise, or practice English.
That small change can influence the rest of your day.
Another example is sleep. If you usually sleep very late, you could start going to bed 15 minutes earlier.
You do not need to suddenly change your sleeping schedule by 2 hours.
Small steps are often easier to continue, and when you repeat those small steps, they become habits.
Habits can slowly change your daily life.
But before changing your habits, it's useful to understand why you want to change.
Your reason is important.
If you don't know why you want something, it can be difficult to stay committed.
Imagine someone says, I want to learn English.
That's a good goal, but why?
Maybe they want to travel.
Maybe they want to get a better job.
Maybe they want to talk to people from different countries.
Maybe they want to understand movies without subtitles.
Or maybe they simply want to feel proud when they speak English.
Knowing your reason gives your goal meaning.
It gives you something to remember when you feel tired.
Let's make this personal, Mike.
Okay, I'm ready.
Have you ever had a moment when you realized you needed to change something in your life?
Yes, definitely. I remember a time when my daily routine became very repetitive.
What was happening?
I was working a lot, but I was not making time for things that were important to me.
So you were busy, but you did not feel satisfied.
Exactly. I was doing many things, but I was not moving toward the life I really wanted.
That is an important difference.
Yes, being busy does not always mean you are making progress.
Sometimes we are busy all day, but still feel like we have achieved nothing important.
That can happen when our daily actions do not match our real priorities.
So what did you do?
I started by looking at my daily routine honestly.
Was that easy?
Not really. It was uncomfortable because I had to admit that some of my habits were wasting my time.
That can be difficult.
Yes, but being honest with yourself is often the first step toward change.
You cannot change something you refuse to see.
Exactly.
And sometimes we need to ask ourselves difficult questions.
Questions like, am I happy with the way I spend my time?
Am I taking care of myself?
Am I learning anything new?
Am I moving closer to the future I want?
These questions are not meant to make us feel bad.
They are meant to help us understand where we are.
And once we understand where we are, we can decide where we want to go.
I think that is a beautiful way to look at change.
Change is not about hating your current life.
You can simply mean that you are ready for something better.
You can be appreciative of what you have and still want to grow.
You can be grateful and still have goals.
You can be comfortable and still decide to challenge yourself.
That is something many people forget.
They think they need to be unhappy before they are allowed to change.
But that is not true.
Sometimes change comes because you simply know that you are ready for a new chapter.
A new chapter does not have to be dramatic.
It can begin with one small action today.
Maybe today you decide to spend 10 minutes learning something useful.
Maybe you call someone you haven't spoken to for a long time.
Maybe you finally start the project you have been thinking about.
Maybe you take a walk without your phone.
Or maybe you simply sit quietly and think about what you really want.
That can be a powerful beginning.
Another important part of change is accepting that fear may come with it.
Yes, feeling afraid does not always mean that you are making the wrong decision.
Sometimes fear simply means that something is unfamiliar. You are entering a situation you have never experienced before.
Maybe you want to speak English with strangers, but you are afraid of making mistakes. You may feel nervous before your first conversation.
But after doing it several times, it becomes more normal. The fear becomes smaller because the situation becomes familiar.
So you do not always have to wait until you feel confident. Sometimes you take action first and confidence comes later.
That is a very important lesson.
You do not need to feel ready before you begin.
You can begin while you are still nervous.
And every small action can teach you that you are capable of more than you thought.
So if you have been thinking about changing something in your life, perhaps today is a good day to begin thinking seriously about it.
Not about changing everything.
Just about changing one thing that matters.
One small step can become the beginning of a much bigger change.
All right, now let's talk about what happens after you decide that you really want to change something.
Yes, because making the decision is important, but the next step is turning that decision into action.
Sometimes we feel excited when we make a new plan.
We imagine our future, think about all the possibilities, and feel ready to do everything at once.
But after a few days, that excitement can become weaker.
And this is where many people stop.
They had a good idea, but they did not create a simple system to support it.
A system is simply a regular way of doing something.
For example, if you want to improve your English, you could create a simple daily system.
You might listen to English for 15 minutes in the morning.
Then practice speaking for 10 minutes in the evening.
You do not need to think about what to do every day because the plan is already there.
That makes things easier.
The same idea works for many other goals.
If you want to become healthier, you could take a short walk after dinner every day.
If you want to read more, you could read 5 pages before going to bed.
If you want to save money, you could check your spending every evening.
The action does not have to be impressive.
It just needs to be clear and repeatable.
This is where consistency becomes important.
You do not change your life because of one amazing day.
You change it through many ordinary days.
That is something we sometimes forget.
We want quick results.
We want to see a big difference immediately.
But real progress often happens quietly.
Imagine you decide to learn 10 new English phrases every day.
10 phrases may not seem like much.
But after 1 month, you could have learned around 300 useful phrases.
And if you continue for a year, the number becomes much bigger.
Small actions become powerful when you give them enough time.
Another important part of changing your life is changing your environment.
Your environment can strongly influence your behavior.
If your phone is always next to you, you may check it constantly.
If your English book is hidden in a drawer, you may forget about it.
But if your notebook is on your desk, you may be more likely to use it.
So make good habits easy to see.
And make distractions harder to reach.
You can put your English book beside your bed.
You can keep your walking shoes near the door.
You can put your phone away when you need to focus.
These little changes can make a surprising difference.
There's also another thing we need to talk about: people.
The people around you can affect your decisions, your confidence, and even your goals.
If you spend time with people who always complain, you may start thinking negatively too.
But when you spend time with people who are positive and supportive, you may feel more encouraged.
This does not mean you should leave everyone who thinks differently from you.
Of course not.
It simply means you should notice how different relationships make you feel.
Ask yourself, after spending time with this person, do I feel encouraged or completely exhausted?
That question can tell you something important.
You also need to become your own support.
Sometimes we wait for other people to believe in us.
We want someone to say, "You can do it."
And encouragement is wonderful.
But you cannot always depend on other people for motivation.
There will be days when nobody is there to encourage you.
On those days, you need to remember your own reasons.
Tell yourself, I chose this because it matters to me.
You do not need everyone to understand your goals.
Some people may not understand why you want to learn English, start a business, travel, study, or change your routine.
That is okay.
Your life belongs to you.
You are the person who has to live it.
So your decisions should be connected to what is important to you.
Of course, it is wise to listen to good advice.
But listening does not mean you must follow every opinion.
You can listen, think, and then decide for yourself.
Another thing that stops people from changing is comparing themselves with others.
This is a big one.
You see someone online who is successful, confident, healthy, or fluent in English.
And you immediately think, why am I not like that?
But you do not know their whole story.
You only see a small part of their life.
You may be comparing your beginning with someone else's middle.
That is not a fair comparison.
A better question is, am I better than I was before?
Maybe 6 months ago, you were afraid to speak English.
Today, you can have a short conversation.
That is progress.
Maybe you used to waste 3 hours every evening on your phone.
Now you spend one of those hours learning something useful.
That is progress too.
You do not need to become someone else.
You need to become a better version of yourself.
And that process takes time.
There will also be mistakes.
Of course, you cannot change without making mistakes.
Maybe you create a new routine and follow it for 2 weeks.
Then you have a bad week and stop.
Do not tell yourself, I always fail.
Instead, ask, what made me stop?
Maybe the goal was too difficult.
Maybe the schedule was unrealistic.
Maybe you were trying to change too many things at once.
Find the problem and adjust the plan.
Changing your life does not mean creating a perfect plan.
It means learning what works for you.
And sometimes the plan needs to change.
That is not failure.
That is learning.
I think people often forget that.
They believe successful people always know exactly what they are doing.
But most people learn by trying, making mistakes, and trying again.
So if your first plan does not work, create a better one.
If your second plan doesn't work, adjust it again.
Keep learning about yourself.
You are not a machine.
Your energy changes.
Your responsibilities change.
Your interests can change too.
And that's completely normal.
The important thing is to stay connected to the direction you want your life to take.
You can change the speed.
You can change the method.
You can even change the goal.
But don't be afraid to keep moving.
Because sometimes the life you want is not created by one huge decision.
It's created by hundreds of small decisions that you make every day. Now let's talk about one of the most important parts of changing your life, understanding that you do not have to become a completely different person.
That is right. You do not need to wake up tomorrow and suddenly become perfect, confident, productive, and successful.
Real change is usually much simpler than that.
It begins with becoming a little more intentional about how you live.
Intentional means making choices with a clear reason instead of simply doing things automatically.
For example, instead of opening your phone whenever you feel bored, you might choose to read for 10 minutes.
Instead of spending the whole evening watching random videos, you might spend part of that time learning English.
Instead of saying, "I never have time," you might look carefully at your day and find 15 free minutes.
These choices may seem small, but they can slowly change your direction.
And your direction is more important than your speed.
Imagine you're walking toward a place you really want to visit.
You do not need to run the entire way.
You just need to keep walking in the right direction.
Sometimes you may walk quickly,
Sometimes you may walk slowly.
and sometimes you may need to stop and rest.
Rest does not mean you have given up. It simply means you are taking care of yourself during the journey.
This is especially important when you are trying to make a long-term change.
You need patience.
Many people give up because they expect results too quickly.
They study English for 2 weeks and expect to speak fluently.
They exercise for 10 days and expect a completely different body.
They start saving money and expect to become financially comfortable immediately.
When the results do not appear quickly, they feel disappointed.
But some changes need time.
You cannot always see progress while it is happening.
Think about learning English.
At first, you may struggle to understand simple conversations.
Then, after months of listening, you begin to understand more.
You start recognizing common expressions.
You answer questions faster.
You make fewer pauses.
And one day, you realize that something which once felt difficult now feels normal.
That moment can be very encouraging.
But it came from many small moments that you almost forgot about.
So do not underestimate today's effort.
Even if you only practice for 10 minutes, it still matters.
Another important part of changing your life is learning to say no.
That can be difficult because many people want to make everyone happy.
They say yes to every invitation,
Yes to every request.
yes to every message.
And then they wonder why they have no time for their own goals. Exactly.
Saying no does not mean you're a bad person.
Sometimes saying no means you are protecting your time.
If something isn't important to you, you don't always have to give it your time and energy.
You can politely say, "I'm sorry, I can't do that today."
Or, "I already have plans."
Or simply, "I don't have enough time right now."
You do not need to give a long explanation every time.
Your time is limited, so think carefully about where you want to spend it.
Another useful question is, what do I want more of in my life?
Maybe you want more peace,
More confidence,
more learning,
more time with family,
more travel,
more creativity.
more meaningful conversations.
Once you know what you want more of, you can begin creating space for it.
And then ask another question. What do I want less of?
Maybe less stress,
Less negative thinking,
less unnecessary spending,
less time on social media.
less fear of making mistakes.
These questions can help you understand what kind of change you really need.
Sometimes changing your life is not about adding more things.
Sometimes it's about removing things that are not helping you.
That can be a powerful realization.
You may not need a new life. You may simply need a better way to live the life you already have.
I really like that.
Me too.
And we should also talk about confidence because many people wait for confidence before they make a change.
They say, when I feel confident, I will start.
But confidence usually grows after you take action.
For example, imagine you are afraid to speak English with another person.
You wait until you feel completely confident.
You might wait forever.
But if you speak one sentence today, you learn that you can do it.
Tomorrow, maybe you speak 3 sentences.
Then 5.
Slowly, your confidence grows from experience.
You do not need to feel fearless.
You only need enough courage to take the next step.
And courage does not mean having no fear.
It means taking action even when you feel a little afraid.
That is a very useful idea for life.
Now, let's create a simple plan for someone who wants to change their life.
Good idea.
First, choose one area you want to improve.
Do not choose everything at once.
Maybe your area is English,
Or health.
or work.
Or your daily routine.
Then choose one small action.
For English, listen for 15 minutes every day.
For health, take a short walk.
For work, spend 15 minutes learning a useful skill.
For your routine, put your phone away 30 minutes before bed.
Then choose a time for that action.
Make it easy to remember.
And finally, repeat it.
Do not worry about doing it perfectly.
Just keep coming back.
After a few weeks, look at your progress.
Ask yourself what is working and what needs to change.
Then make your next small adjustment.
This is how change becomes part of everyday life.
So, if you have been waiting for the perfect moment to change something, maybe you do not need to wait anymore.
You do not need to know exactly what your future will look like.
You only need to know the next step.
Your next step can be very small.
But make it real. Do it today if you can.
Then, tomorrow, take another step.
And if you make a mistake, learn from it.
If you stop, start again.
If you feel afraid, take a smaller step.
If you feel tired, rest and return when you are ready.
Your life can change slowly.
And slow change is still change.
You are allowed to grow at your own pace.
You are allowed to change your goals.
You are allowed to start again.
Most importantly, you are allowed to believe that your future can be different from your past.
Your past can teach you something, but it does not have to control your future.
So take a moment today and ask yourself 3 simple questions.
What do I want to change?
Why do I want to change it?
And what is one small step I can take today?
You do not need perfect answers.
You just need honest ones.
And remember, changing your life is not one big event.
It's a collection of small choices.
The way you spend your morning,
The people you spend time with.
the things you choose to learn,
The habits you repeat.
the thoughts you believe.
And the actions you take when nobody's watching.
All of these things slowly create your life.
So choose your next step carefully, but do not be afraid to take it.
Maybe this is the beginning of a new chapter for you,
Not because everything suddenly becomes perfect.
but because you finally decided to move forward.
And sometimes that decision is all you need to begin.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us at Talk Sara English.
We hope this conversation gave you some useful English and also gave you a little motivation to think about your own life.
If you are ready to make one small change, write it in the comments.
You can write, "Today I will," and complete the sentence with your own goal.
It's a simple way to practice English and make your decision feel more real.
Remember, you do not have to change everything today.
Just change one small thing.
Keep going, keep learning, and keep believing in your ability to grow.
Your next chapter can begin with one simple decision.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode of Talk Sara English.